Okay, so there are quite a few chalets on some of the islands which tourists can actually stay on. That is the Tamongo Dam. The whole purpose of the lake. That's the Tamongo Dam. So it's actually dry. The season is drought, but the water levels are high. It's because this is a man-made dam, so the water is not released. Surprise electricity and drinking water and water for cultivation. Okay. Yeah. If you can see the observational tower up there. Now, this is the Pulau Tali Kail, which is an island, and it has an observational tower. You can actually hike up all the way up to the observational tower and have a good view of the Temengor of this side of the lake. However, I was told that they've closed it temporarily because I think some of the wooden structures have gone bad, so it's a bit risky to hike up all the way up there. But nevertheless, it's quite a good hike to go all the way up. You can see some of them have camped up because they're usually fishing. They come here a few days, fish, and then the barge that transports the tilapia fishes. Now there's a live fish. You can see the oxygen tanks behind it. And this fish, they're exported to places like Taiwan, Japan, and so on. So they fetch a pretty good price, and this is quite a multi-million dollar industry here in the lake. We're on the way to Kemar. There's another place that we're stopping by. This behind me is a river, is a stream actually. This was the area where there was a lot of tin mine. There was a lot of tin, so they mined the tin. And if you would go up, there were actually dams that were made. And there's a dam actually you can see from here. Now, I'm not going to go up where they were mining. Well, it's no longer mined, but some of the indigenous people, the orang asli, they're still pan mining it. They're using a pan to mine it. They say they can still get quite a good amount of tin. But this was a big tin mine. There were actually rail tracks that were going up, right, supplying to the nearest town, which is quite far away. But everything is dismantled, unfortunately. This was about 30 years, 40 years ago. So they took out the rail tracks, they took out whatever iron they could find, they took it out and they sold it off. A lot of people came and did that. So history is lost. But I've been up there. It's quite a risky journey. I actually fell and I nearly hit my head. So I'm not keen on exploring this again. We're on the way to Kemar. Now, what's interesting about this place is that this is the river Tamongo, and there was village Tamongo here. There were several villages right along this path, and it was robust. I'm talking about villages that were trading with each other, and they were trading with people from the outside. There was Malay communities who were living here, and there were homes. It was really vibrant. But what happened was, when the lake water started rising, they were moved into the nearest district, Greek, and they were given homes there. But what's fascinating is they left a lot of it here, including the graves. I was told that they would still come occasionally, but it's all submerged, so you don't really get to see the graves. I don't think even if the water level drops very low, you'll be able to see the graves, because the headstones were made of wood and they would have rotted by now. But it's fascinating if you really imagine how vibrant this place must have been. All those villages along this river on both sides. They have rubber plantations which they have left. The rubber trees must be old now, but I hear the orang asli, the indigenous people, do come and still tap the rubber, but I don't think it's very productive. It's so quiet. It's so quiet. It's amazing. You can hear the birds chirping. So we're gonna go that way, and we're gonna go up to Kemar. Okay, anda, let's go. So along the way, there's numerous indigenous villages. As you can see, there's one, and on this side of the lake, the indigenous community are mostly Temiars. On the other side are mostly Jahai. Okay. This is the jetty for Pos Kemar. There are many villages along this whole post. There are about, it depends, 8 to 13,000 people actually. But of course it's very big compared to the other orang asli settlements that you get. So when the water level is high, it's easier to park the boat at the jetty. But when the water level is low, which means that when they release water from the dam, then we will have to actually park the boat way up there. You can't even come close to the jetty. This is quite common. It's happened many times. Okay, so we are here now.